Let's go and open up InDesign, and I'm going to start a new document. I've also created a different version of this video using Scribus instead of Adobe InDesign, just to give you another tool. Again, Adobe InDesign is pretty much a industry standard. There's a lot of reasons why you should use this program. It's a great thing to put on your resume. If you feel pretty confident in it, try out Scribus. Add it to your resume after you're finished. All right, so we're going to create a new document. I'm going to change the units to inches, and 17 by 11 is great. I'm going to make the height 17 now. So let me do that. Great. Okay. And here we are. All right. So I showed you in class how to bring in color palettes and images. We can drop them right in here. If you don't want to drop them, you can hit place. The first thing that we want to do now that we've got this color palette on here is we're going to go grab our color theme tool. And if you don't see it there, you might see one of these other tools in this workspace. And let me open those up. I'm going to right click. We've got an eyedropper tool, color theme, and a measuring tool. But we're going to grab that, and we are going to just click on this space, and it's going to basically give us a sampling of the different colors it sees in the space. We're just going to add that to our color swatches, and it says it's added there. That's great. So if I go to my swatches, if we scroll down, I'm going to see these color themes. Okay. One of the things you might realize here is that your workspace looks a little bit different from mine. So we just go up here to Window, we go to Workspaces, and I like to work in typography, or the other one that I really like to work in is this Essentials Classic. Okay, and that kind of changes out your the way things look in your workspace. So again, I like that classic look. If I don't find what I need here, it's usually because I need to open up my typography workspace. And I can usually end up doing what I want to do with that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the back of this page, just to remind you how to do that. We're going to grab the rectangle tool. I've got my fill and my stroke here. Okay, I've also got fill and stroke up here. Lots of different options. I can select my color themes here if I want to work this way. Lots of different ways you can work in Adobe. I think I've been talking about that, and that's because we have so many different versions of this program, and people don't want to change the way they work, so they keep adding new ways, new methods of working, but they don't necessarily get rid of the old iterations. Okay, so again, in order to change this center color here, I've got a lot of different options. I can change it in a bunch of different places. I can go get my own colors. I can bring in my own colors. I can find colors. Lots of different ways that we can work here. Remember, this is my fill, and this is going to be my stroke. Okay, so that's a good place to start. So I'm going to put in a title here, just so we can see how I'm working here. I'm going to draw out where I want my text to go, and then I am going to start typing. Okay, so select all. I'm going to raise my percentage here to quite a bit, just so that I've got something that's going to be readable for you. I'm going to change my font because I don't like the defaults, and get a nice Helvetica, something easy to read. And I can center that here, or I can just move this block where I want it to. Okay, I can move it, and then I can resize my text box. Now, this isn't the most readable thing in the world, so I'm going to go get a square, and I'm going to maybe draw another box along here. Okay, and I'm going to make this one black. All right, and you'll notice, shoot, my text has disappeared. Well, it's disappeared because number one, it's black, and number two, probably, because of the arrangement. So I'm going to change my text color. Now I'm going to change it to white, and I'm going to move it back up above the banner. Okay, onto the banner. We can see I can't see my text because it's behind this banner. So what do I need to do here? I need to right click, and I need to change my arrangement. This is something that you're gonna have to mess with quite a bit. I'm gonna send to the back. Okay, not all the way back. So a lot of people say, hey Steve, why are you drawing a banner, and why not just work this way where I'm going to center it, my text here, and maybe I could just, center it, as you would, and I'm gonna change my background. Okay, if I wanted to do that, I could change the background of this box. All right, I mean, you can work this way. Let's see what happens. All right, so then you might say, well, change that, and then I'm just gonna move this down a little bit, and then, arrange it that way. Well, the problem is that, as you can see, we're starting to fight the parameters of our text formatting. So this gets to be a huge waste of time. I've seen students before, they'll open up their font windows, they'll move here to a font workspace, a typography workspace, and they'll start messing with the leading and different aspects to move this text up and down, and you just end up wasting a whole bunch of time. So it's much faster to work with a background that is not filled on your actual text pieces, and then move them where you want them to be on top of colored blocks. That just is going to make you work a lot faster. Okay, messing with this image now. I'm going to bring that out on my workspace, and you'll see I've got to mess with my arrangement again. I'm going to bring it to the front, and now we can see it just fine. First thing that I do if I'm messing around with this image, you'll see that I'm cropping it. Okay, I'm not resizing the actual image, I'm just cropping it. And remember, this tool is designed for people who are laying out laying out images for print, for newspapers and other publications, magazines, very, very quickly. So that crop function is super important when you're trying to balance image space versus text space. So that's why this function works this way. If I want to move both of these at the same time, I can hit Command and Shift, and it will allow me to resize my image and that frame at the same time. And I'm using a Mac. It's a little different for people who are working with PCs. So just a reminder there. If I want to have control over both on my Mac, again, Command and Shift. That lets me place things on the page where I want them to be. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about just really quickly is what happens when we lay out text on top of an image. Okay. So I'm going to put down text. Just write down text. Select all. I'm going to increase the font on here so we can see it a little bit better. Okay. Looks like I misspelled text. Okay, so I've added a text here, and you can see I'm really having a hard time seeing this text. Okay, I guess I could change it to white, but one of the things I really want to do here, even white's going to be hard to see, is I'm going to place this text. I'm going to use a box to place this text over the top of it, and then drop that opacity down on the box. I just think this is such a nice little trick. Anytime you really want to work with an image to make it stand out. I'm going to go ahead with paper color, and then I'm just going to come over here to my opacity, and I'm going to drop that down. Okay, can't really see the text still. That's just because I've got to mess with my arrangement again. So let me go get my pointer tool, and I'm going to point right on that box and hit arrange. And I'm going to have to send backward. Sorry. Now we can see it just a little bit better. So this is just a nice little tool, nice little trick in case you're trying to make text stand out on top of images. Always important whenever you're designing that you work from models. So go out there and find a good model. Hopefully I don't get a whole bunch of Simpsons safety documents, but think about your industry, think about our current situation, and how you can come up with a safety document that's going to be something worthwhile, something that you're proud of, something that's going to help you advance in your career. I did a quick search of safety documents for chemical industry, and lots of different things that you can do here in terms of safety. So again, I'm super interested to see what you end up making. Work from a model, be playful.